What's up, guys? We're the Gamers Weekly. We are your hosts. My name is Ghost, and with me today is Antog, and we will be explaining a little bit more about how and where you guys can find us in social media and on the internet, what you'll be hearing and seeing from us content-wise, and what you can do to help support us.
Yeah, so you can find us on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. We will post weekly gaming content with each week. There will be a different game, and with each game there will be a different set of series. We're not shooting for a certain amount of series for each game. We're just saying that we'll have a set of series. I don't know how many series we'll have in each game. That's besides the point. So, we'll be posting videos every Friday and streaming every Saturday. Hopefully that's what we'll shoot for. So moving on to what this week's game is, we're doing some Tom Clancy's Division. It's the game that you guys see in the background. And the series you guys see in the background is the C.O.A, which is the Civilian Overwatch Agency. And with C.O.A, we will complete encounters and help civilians. And those are the two main things we'll do. We'll also be killing, enemies along the way. That just kind of comes with this. So with this, it's just kind of restoring Manhattan to its rightful state. Now, we don't know exactly how many episodes we'll end up doing of this because, there are only a certain amount of encounters that you can do unless they add new ones. But that's all in the future, but that's why we have second accounts. So I'm really interested to see what you have to say in this, Ghost.
Yeah, it was a blast to record this, and I know we've got a couple other series coming up depending on what you guys think of the first. I really hope that we can do some of those encounters and help the civilians out, because honestly, civilians are not going to help themselves, so we got to be those watchdogs or the sheepdogs and help them out. But yeah, I definitely think that it's going to be a good experience. Hope we can help you guys out, and it's just going to be a humorous series, a lighthearted series that you guys can hopefully glean at least some information from.
Yeah, so moving on to D.Z.A, or Dark Zone Adventures. With this is not really that humorous, but not saying that it can't be humorous. But with this is going to be more of an informative type game series. With this, we will complete things like the landmarks and just kind of help you guys out with farming all of the gear, and farming all of the division tech, stuff like that, because it is hard to come by, especially in the division with the Dark Zone, everybody else going and getting it first before you can get to it. So just kind of helping you guys out, get the division tech as quick as possible. And of course going rogue, because we all know you have to go rogue to get the higher rank. Once you hit that level 50, you have to go rogue to get higher, to get the better gear. So I'm really interested to see how this will end up going. This is definitely going to be a lot more of a failing type series until we actually get the hang of it. Going rogue is not something that's very easy. Right when you shoot that first guy down, everybody's on you. I mean, I don't really go for rogues that much in the Dark Zone because I know they're probably in like a huge group that's just going to wreck me anyways, but it is something that does need what am I trying to say? It is something that needs to, be looked into, and something that a lot of people do need to know how to do so that you can get the better gear. So what do you think about this, Ghost?
Yeah, I definitely think it's a very good experience. I know a lot of YouTubers say it's one of the most exciting things they've ever done in this game, and I would agree with them. It is it's a good adrenaline rush. It gets your heart going, and I think it's a good experience to have at least a couple of times. I wouldn't do it every day. That's just me, but I think it's a good experience, and I think people should try it out. Also, in addition, I think that a lot of YouTubers sort of say that you have to have a perfect role, and I'd agree with them partially. You do have to have a somewhat perfect role in the in-game, but you don't have to have it to go in the Dark Zone. Not saying you'll completely wreck the crap out of everyone when you go in there without the perfect role, perfect role, but saying that you'll at least be competent in the Dark Zone. And it's definitely a PvP aspect. Yes, there are PvE enemies, but let's just face the facts. It's a PvP environment most of the time. So I would definitely encourage all of you guys who are listening to at least try it out. If you don't like it, then it's not for you. That's basically just that's your decision. Not saying I completely spam it, but definitely would agree with you, Antog. I think you stated before, you definitely have to go in there to get that Dark Zone experience in order to get that loot. And I know we've got some topics on loot and how to find it.
Yeah, so moving on to Mission Masters. Mission Masters is a pretty much another series where we'll just kind of be informing you guys on how to get the loot, how to get the gear so that you can get to do the what are they called, incursions with your friends. And a lot of people just kind of kick you from the group if you're not a high enough rank, and we really want to help you guys to do the incursions so that you can get the better gear, so that you don't get kicked immediately just because you're not this certain score, because everybody just expects you to be this perfect person. And I think that with the Mission Masters, it's to give you guys hints and tips, not only on the dailies, but also on the weeklies incursions, because they're going to have more incursions coming out, or I guess more raids, if you will, coming out. And they're not going to be the easiest things in the world. Doing the incursion for the first time was definitely a real heart racer. You get on wave 15, the bomb's coming in, you get rushed by like 3 shotgunners. You're like, what do I do? It's just to help you guys remain calm in those types of situations. Because you do get really nervous, I guess. You're sweating all over the place. You can't stand it. You're just jumping up and down trying to get the bomb onto the APC before your entire team dies from all the shotgunners and drones that just come and rush you. So this is something that's definitely going to hopefully help a lot of you guys out. A lot of the newer level 30s, if you've played the game for a little bit, it's not really going to be that hard of a challenge. Maybe you'll learn something new, hopefully. But if you don't, that's fine. Just kind of a friendly reminder, I guess. But for the newer level 30s, who are trying to get that loot so that they can go do the incursions, this is definitely the series for you. So what do you think about this, Ghost?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a beneficial series for you guys. I know we're not saying that we're MLG, because we're not. A lot of you guys are way better at the game than we are. We'll just admit that right away. And I know Antog will. I'm definitely not the best out there, definitely. But we're just trying to help you guys and hopefully you guys can glean a little bit from what we're saying, even though you may be the highest dark zone level, and odds are you're higher dark zone level than both of us combined. But that's beside the point. Our whole mission is to help you guys out as best as we can and just give you guys that information. I know a lot of people have asked about, oh, well, what do I do to get the new striker, or striker and other types of gear? What am I supposed to do if my whole team dies in the incursion and I'm the only one left? Hey, what support build should I use if I go on the Russian consulate mission on hard or challenging? We'll just be answering. We'll just be answering those questions for you guys as best as we can from our own experience and from other people's experience.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you. So, moving on, with each week there'll be a different episode of a certain series. So, this is episode 1 of C.O.A. We will do episode 1 of D.Z.A. and episode 1 of MM. So, with each week there'll be a different episode. I don't know exactly how many episodes we'll do of each series. That's just kind of something that's decided by how much content is out there in the game. But obviously it's kind of a brand new game, so there's going to be a lot more things to do in the future updates. So moving right along here to some discussion questions. Our first topic is, what do you think the general state of the game is? How well is it working? What bug fixes need to be fixed now? And general balance issues. First and foremost thing is the cheeses and the incursions. It seems like every time they fix one of the cheeses or they fix one of the glitches that people do, somebody else figures something out. I know there's a new cheese going around. We have like 2 people sit inside and 2 people stay out, just snipe all the enemies off. And there's another glitch where you make the enemies shoot the APC or something crazy like that. Some of those glitches I don't even know how people find. Especially one with the ladder glitch where you would like shoot your secondary and then you just walk right through the wall or right through the roof. It was, a weird glitch, something that, it's just kind of weird that a game would have it this early. Not saying that it needs to be fixed right away. But then again, saying that it should be fixed right away, because it is something that, such a big game name as Tom Clancy, as Ubisoft, they shouldn't be having these tiny little issues going around that, people will just farm for hours upon hours for, just to get a higher gear score so that they can do the newer incursions when they come out. And so it's something that definitely needs to be fixed, something that they need to take a look at. and something that needs to be fixed right away. So what do you think needs to be fixed, and what bug fixes need to be changed, or what? Yeah, that's what I want to say. Sorry.
Just agree with you on the cheeses and tog. I definitely think they should be fixed. Obviously, every time someone's going to figure something out. It may just be eventually. It could be an overtime thing. I know a lot of the cheeses take a long time to find, except for unless you're just a cheese wizard and you can find those. Not suggesting that as a job title or anything, but definitely those could be fixed. Another thing I'd like to point out is a lot of people are saying the weapons are broken. That I'm not getting enough DPS for what my stats are worth, blah blah blah, etc. And they can go on for days and days just trolling people with those questions and arguments and whatnot. I just like to put that to rest and just to point out that all the other God games, to use the phrase, Destiny, COD, all those series that you guys love, most of you love, even World of Warcraft, not to pick on any of those series, I love all those games equally. I played all of them in my spare time, as well as the Division. I just like to point out that when all those games were in their infant state, there were broken weapons. That's just the straight up facts. You can argue that all day, but if you look at the statistics at the beginning of the game when it was in that infant state, and I like to use that phrase, according to the Tom Clancy's The Division, this game is definitely in its baby state, where it's just come out. People are just starting to figure out glitches. I know a lot of people were at the E3 figuring out glitches even then. Not suggesting that, but just moving along. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, I apologize for that. But just trying to say all of that to sum up and say that there are broken weapons. There are going to be broken weapons and broken cheeses in most games, unless you have a perfect game, which if you find the perfect game, please let us know and we'll play it, and we will admit that we were wrong about that perfect game. But until that point, the Division does have cheeses, it does have glitches, but it's a great game. I think it's got a lot of potential, and that goes to show you the starting out games, and just gives credit to the Division where it's due.
Alright, so coming to the end of the video, kind of running out a little bit of time here. Anything you want to say right before we end the video, Ghost?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thanks for hearing us ramble on about a bunch of problems and fixes and whatnot. We'll definitely have more in detail stuff. Podcast, something that's floating up in the air right now. If you want a podcast, please comment down below, #podcast if you want those. I know it's a little early right now for that, being that this is our first video, but if you'd like to hear podcasts of that after you watch our other videos, then please let us know. But until next time, we have been the Gamers Weekly. I'm Ghost.
I'm Antog64.
And we will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.
Bye.